Let's move on to talk about photographs now. Do you prefer taking photos with a camera or with your phone?
If I choose the most, I will choose my phone because because it is so convenient for me when I go out anywhere or anywhere in anytime. So I easy to take a photo I want. Yeah.
What kinds of things do you take photos of?
I always want to take every memories with my friends and family. I think it will help me to save memory, happy or sad. In the future, I can open to remember all feeling. Yes.
So what do you do with your photographs after you take them?
After I take them, I will edit and edit color or effect. Then I up to the most beautiful photo to Instagram or Facebook to my friend can can see. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to talk about cooking. How often do you cook?
I always cook every day because I live with my brother, so I'm always a chef to cook, and I like cooking because it makes me feel more happy and have me more energy for my life.
Do you prefer eating in a restaurant or eating at home?
I think I will choose eating at home because I can cook. Cook. I mean, cook.
Wi-Fi.
Teacher in the internet is.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, please repeat.
Yeah.
Do you prefer eating in a restaurant or at home?
I will choose eating at home because I like cozy in home. Make connect with my member in my family, and sometimes I will. Sometimes I have many some friends to visit my house too, and I like I will cooking which will present for them.
Okay.
Okay, so let's take a look at a couple more topics. This one is about photographs and cooking. So with this candidate, again, we're looking at the 4 criteria. I think the biggest thing with her in this, on both topics actually, was her repetition. And she does a lot of starting and stopping because I think that she's trying to think of ideas. So here she says like because, and then she starts it again and says because it is. So she uses that repetition and it's a little bit distracting. She also said take every. I think this happens too because she's correcting some mistakes that she caught when she's speaking, which is good. But again, it's a little distracting with repetition. And she did in the second topic with cooking, she says cook, I mean cook. And then she pauses a little and then she says cook again. Again, she's starting and stopping, so it's a little confusing for the person listening to exactly know what she's trying to say. So you want to watch your repetition when you're talking. It's okay to correct your mistakes, but you also want to make sure that you're not too distracting when you're talking. It's hard for someone to follow your conversation. So that's what I would have to say for fluency and coherence. Again, coherence is about if you can understand her and if she understands the question or the candidate understands the question. And I think this is fair, this is okay, coherence. But again, fluency is a little off because she's doing too much repetition. The second thing, lexical or her language. She used the word oftenly. Oftenly is not a word. So she uses the word oftenly to remember. She's talking about photographs and she's talking about opening up her photographs so she can remember her memories. But she uses the wrong word oftenly. And that word should be often. Okay? And the next one, she used the phrase also about cooking. She says, it helps me happy and more energy for my life. It's a little confusing to say you have more energy for your life because I don't understand the idea. And this might go back a little bit to coherence because it's difficult for me to understand what she's trying to say. So it's maybe a little bit coherence. And it's also a little bit for her structure. So lexical, she's using improper language, and then she's also making some grammar mistakes. So it's kind of hard just to group this one sentence into one mistake. And then also she talks about eating at a restaurant or at home. She says, I like cozy at home. Again, this is a little hard to interpret because she hasn't really used the phrase. It should be more like, I feel more cozy at home, instead of, I like cozy at home, because that doesn't make sense. Again, this is with language. She does use a good phrase. She says she likes to connect with her family at home, so that's a good phrase. But overall, as I've said in other videos, you want to show your flexibility with the language. So you want to make sure, this is very important, you want to make sure that you don't use words that you're unsure of or you're not positive of, because then it's better to use a more simpler word that you understand than to use a word that doesn't make sense. Because then this could affect the lexical and also your pronunciation, especially if you use the word incorrectly. So that was lexical. And then grammar, she says, I believe she's talking about photographs here. She says, if I choose, the most I choose is with my phone. Again, this is a little hard to interpret. So this might also go back to coherence because we're not sure why she used that phrase. Because the question is, do you prefer to take photos with your phone or with a camera? And there's no, if I choose. It should be more like, I prefer to use my phone, if that's your choice. I prefer to use my phone because it's more convenient, because I usually have my phone with me all the time. So that would be the way you answer that. And then she also uses the phrase, so easy to take photo I want. Again, this is a whole group of words that haven't been used correctly. So it should be something more like, so it's easy for me to take photos that I want. That would be a better phrase. And then for the cooking reference, she says, I live with my brother, which I don't understand why she uses that phrase, but she's the question is, how often do you cook? And she says, I live with my brother, so I always a chef to cook. So I don't understand why she used that. And a chef is more like a professional cook, so that doesn't make sense either in this context. So the chef part could also go with the lexical. And I put this on grammar because of the structure of the sentence. And then she says, I will, I believe she's talking about her friends. So she says, I will cooking for my friends. I will cook for my friends. Overall, I thought her pronunciation was fine. So I didn't have any issues with her pronunciation in this particular case. Mainly about repetition, using the correct words, and using the correct phrases. That would be my biggest comment for this candidate. So overall, pronunciation fairly competent. Okay? Okay, so now I'm going to give you some questions that you can practice at home. Remember, you want to do a few things, maybe practice in the mirror or practice with a friend. You can go back and forth practicing. And also maybe record your voice so you can listen back and you can get a little bit more ideas when you listen back. Okay?